Hello and welcome to Zerbinator's Horror Nights, the show that puts the air in scare. It puts the right in fright and takes the air out of terror. I am your host, Zerbinator, and with me tonight is my very good friend, Mike G. What up, G?
What's going on, Kev? How are you today, man?
Oh my gosh, you sound amazing.
Wow, it's that new sexy voice.
Well, with me tonight is Sexy G, and tonight we're going to discuss Zachary Donahue's 2013 horror film, The Den. We will spoil the heck out of this movie, so if you wish, watch the movie first, then come on back. If you don't care, stay right there. Did you hear that? The computer just glitched.
Kevin, watch out. Looks like someone's behind you.
What?
No!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
It would be a little unkind to present this without just a word of friendly warning.
Children of the night, what music they make.
It deals with the two great mysteries of creation.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Life and death.
Your mother sit here with this cat.
I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk here.
So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain,
Would you like to leave a message?
now's your chance to, well, we warn you.
With your hosts, Zerbinator and Mike G.
So, Mike, how have you been? And please explain why you sound like a white version of Barry White tonight.
Dang. Now my mind went crazy. You messed me up. I was trying to think of a Barry White song to sing to you.
Just go, girl, I want to hold you and that's all you have to do.
No, I've been well, Kevin. Yeah, I went out and, thanks to convincing and pushing by you, went out and got myself a nice professional podcast set up for a change.
Sounds good. It sounds really nice and clean, and it doesn't sound like we're going through webcams, which we didn't go through before. You were just yelling all the way from Florida.
Yeah, that was a long yell. I had to roll that newspaper up real tight and get a big horn out of it.
And I had to put the microphone on a very tall stand just to pick that up. That's what we had going on. Well, I wanted to ask you questions pertaining to this film before we begin. Has your computer ever been hacked? Have you ever been hacked at all?
No, not per se. Well, I had someone plant a virus on my computer years ago, back in the old chat days in the chat rooms.
AOL kind of chat room?
Yeah, like Yahoo before they really started coming out with major firewalls and all that.
Yeah.
But nothing severe, not like anything that happened in the movie.
Yeah, well, they did some good hacking in the movie.
Yeah. How about you?
The closest I've ever been to being hacked was when, you call up about a problem with a Microsoft. We called up about Microsoft Word 2003, and someone from Microsoft got into my computer and did some work. Yeah. That's about the most I've ever been hacked. I have had viruses left and right. Mm-hmm. None that have taken over my computer too much. Your usual Trojans, not the ribbed kind, just the regular. But you get what you get. Sticky situation.
Definitely sticky situation.
Yes. What was your first reaction to seeing this particular movie, The Den?
I really liked it. I felt that it was different. Kind of kept me not on the edge of my seat, but kept me thinking,
Right.
So I really enjoyed it. That's one of the reasons why I think I recommended it when we did our last show, because it's just different.
It was a good movie. Mm-hmm. I didn't like it as much as I thought I would.
That's okay.
Now, I have to tell you that the movie is definitely worth talking about on this show.
Right.
The reason I didn't like the movie is because what it was setting out to do for you, and again, this is kind of spoiling it, the end of the movie was exactly what I didn't want to see. But therefore, if it wasn't but for the fact that that's what the movie was about, right. That's what was scary about it. It was a little too close to what I think is becoming like the norm nowadays. And and it hasn't gotten to the entertainment aspect. And I know we're jumping right to the grid of this movie. We haven't gotten to the entertainment field of that type of lifestyle where people are being We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Let me not do that now, but that's why I didn't like it.
Okay.
Because I feel that this movie is going to become a reality eventually, if it's not already.
That's, we'll discuss it more later.
Okay, we'll talk
when
about
we
it
talk
later.
about it, because I don't
But
want...
that was my reaction to this film.
Right,
The first reaction is that the actress is amazing. She did a great job.
Right.
The second reaction as it went on was like, this is really well thought out and well done. The timing is excellent. And then, but when it started getting a little too much on the, just for what seemed like killing for fun, then I was like, this is not, it's getting a little too weird.
Yeah.
And uncomfortable.
Again, we'll discuss it further more when we get a little later into the show. I'll give more of my thoughts on it. And, and we're going to sometimes have differences of opinions on movies.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing. I mean, Siskel and Ebert didn't always agree with 2 thumbs up.
That's true.
So.
And one ate more than the other, and that's me. So I'll be the big guy.
And now, tonight's feature.
Well, tonight's feature is The Den. It was released March 14th, 2013. The director is Zachary Donahue, and the writers are Zachary Donahue and Lauren Thompson. All right, I'm going to go down the list of the cast here. Melanie Papalia plays the main character chick, Elizabeth Benton. She was an extraterrestrial. She was an American Pie. Presents The Book of Love. You ready for this name?
Good luck.
This is one thing about independent film channel movies. You end up with names like this. God bless you, David. I don't know how to say this right. I'm going to try it. Schlachtenflugenhaven.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
Schlachenhaven. It'll be rude if I keep going. Make fun of me. He played Damian Clark, the boyfriend of Chicky Poo. How do you say it?
Farfanagan.
What did you just call me? Shock jock. Adam Shapiro plays Max. Thank you, Mr. Shapiro. Good old Italians. The computer whiz and close buddy of Chicky Poo. Anne Margaret Hollyman, no relation to Anne Margaret. She played Lynn Benton, the sister of Chicky Poo. Matt Righty, Sergeant Tisbert. Again, independent film. Tisbert.
Tisbert, not Ernie.
That's what I was heading towards. Police sergeant. And then you had Katija Pevic, who played Jenny, friend and close neighbor of Chicky Poo. Chicky Poo being Melanie Papalia, Elizabeth Benton. You're going to see Elizabeth Benton, i.e. Melanie Papalia, in quite a few movies because she is a good actress, really good actress.
I thought she was too.
Yeah, definitely.
And now for a quick movie plot summary. Written by Zerb.
Here's the quick movie plot. As always, written by Zerb. This is always one of my fun segments to go across because I do not rehearse this. I omit this from when I'm reading our script that we go down, just as the disclaimer now. So that hence why all the laughing and all the silliness. So here we go. Do not blink when watching The Den. You will miss something, and then the whole movie is lost. Cutie Pie Elizabeth is studying the habits of webcam users in a chat room titled The Den. She is getting a grant from a school, I think, as she seems to be working on a thesis of habits from humans in electronics. It seems most people still act like they did when 8mm film was invented. They make strange faces. Some like to take their clothes off. Others like to have puppet shows. The puppet was awesome, by the way.
That puppet was disgusting.
Only these puppets do things that never happened on Sesame Street. As she combs through the fields of perverts and half-wits, she stumbles across a grisly, chewy, double cheesy, and shredded pepperoni slice of murder pizza. I mean, real gross stuff. As the movie progresses, the murderer hacks Elizabeth's system, and now the observer becomes the observed. They start screwing around with her files, killing off her friends. Did I mention there was more than one murderer? Yeah, there's more than one murderer. Then a bunch of bad murder and guts and gore happens, and then she gets whacked by a bunch of mean people. The end.
And that bugged the crap out of me.
Well,
that bugged the crap out of me after all the work that she did and getting, busted the tooth of that one kid in this setup. And then what do they do to her? They hang her, and then all of a sudden, they say, she gets down. She's like, oh, she got a chance, and they just walk up and bang.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, this is funny. We'll get a little bit more into it when we start getting into film goodies.
Okay.
But I mean, with this ending, she escaped at first, and that's kind of what I liked about it. Cause usually in a horror movie, there's always a heroine or a hero, and you start rooting for her to get out of there. All these different people are popping out, and that's when you realize this is a multi-complex, group of killers. And you think she's going to get away, and at the last second she did, and nobody survived.
Let me ask you this. You said a heroine and a hero. Is that a matter of drugs and a sandwich?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, continue.
So, I mean, I'm not saying that's one of the things that I liked about the movie, but I kind of like the fact that the main character didn't survive. Usually it's just, the supporting cast that dies, and, the main actress always, i.e. Scream or Halloween or something to that effect. I mean, which is fine. That works for those movies. In my opinion, this worked with killing her off.
Well, I like the fact that during this movie, there were a lot of subtle, spooky things, and I really was looking for something supernatural, because I love supernatural stories I can't say over the Mike Myers or the Jasons, because Jasons and Mike Myers have a little supernatural thrown in.
Right.
Mike Myers, not so much, but Mike Myers happens on Halloween. There's your supernatural. It's on a holiday,
Right.
This fell more towards, like you said, it was a Saw type of movie. I am not, other than Saw 1, a Saw fan. Anything after that to me is not as good as that initial idea. Mm-hmm. And, so I'm kind of torn. Shelley loved this movie, thought it was really good. And, we both were like, it's a little over the edge on the murder aspect, but, we weren't going to turn it off because we wanted to see what was going to happen next. So I can't shoot it down completely. But again, at the end there, I didn't like the ending. Right. Now, you said you had some trivia about how it changed.
Yeah, but just one more thing that I want to touch on off of something you said.
Please.
Is I think one of the main reasons why I like this is that, of course, in the beginning of the movie, here's a spoiler, people. You don't realize that it's multiple people that are involved. Number one.
Right. I did not know that.
Number two, you realize the reason why her friends and her family are disappearing is because these people are trying to protect themselves from being discovered, which is an interesting fact. I like how that was built into the plot. And of course, the ending is the biggest part, that people are paying to see these people go off and kill people.
That's disgusting.
It's very disgusting, but it was a very great, very good element for towards the ending of the movie, because you never see it coming. It's never suspected that, hey, I'm paying on my credit card to watch little Susie run around, and these people in burlap sacks and doctor's masks and gas masks run around and chase and torture and murder and blah, 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 blah. So that was, for me, it was a very unique written movie, and that's my experience.
And and I'll also give you the fact that the first thing the guy did is when he noticed that his son coming in the room?
Yes.
And the first instant feeling he had was guilt because of what he was doing.
That's correct.
And that to me was a plus, instead of just having him there being this, big fat guy like me sitting in a chair going, I'm going to watch me some girl screaming.
Right.
And I like the fact that they made this guy, somebody who works for a living, comes home and is tired, and what does he do to unwind? He decides he wants to go on the den site or whatever,
right,
and see who gets it next.
Right.
That's creepy. So it definitely got where it needed to be for it to be a horror film. It makes you uncomfortable.
Right.
And that's what you want horror movies to do.
The way it's being a found footage film, I like the fact that they didn't do it through a video camera, that it was actually...
Oh, that would have drove me nuts.
Yeah, that it was done through a webcam series. A little unrealistic as she's walking to her friend's house or running or whatever, that she's on this web chat. I was waiting for the stop sign to jump out and smack her in the face. It was a little unrealistic in that aspect. But you know what? How many people, and I can honestly say I've even seen it down here in Florida, that I've seen people walking down the street with their video chat on in their phone, and they're actually doing that. And I'm going, wow,
No, I saw someone walk into a pillar in Ballston Common Mall in Virginia. Well, I was in a restaurant, the Chevy's restaurant, and I just watched, and I was like, honey, watch this. And we watched her, and she just plowed herself right into a pillar right there at the mall.
El Kabong.
It was great. Never text and walk.
And now for the things that had followed the original.
Well, the movies that followed, the only one that I could find anything to do with was Unfriended in 2014, which had the same type of desktop real-time footage style, but otherwise, not much to find.
How about a little bit of movie trivia?
Kev, the only goodies I could really find out there, because this is a pretty new movie, was that it was initially released in Russia in 2013. Matter of fact, it was released on December 23rd, 2013. And then it was given
Christmas
Merry Christmas, right? And then it was given a simultaneous limited theatrical and VOD release on March 14th, 2014 through IFC Midnight. So
it had video on demand right away.
Yes, it did. Kind of like how the Babadook was. It never made it to the theater. It went straight to video on demand.
And really quick, if I can interrupt you right there. I listened to the Nerdist podcast, and he was interviewing John Cusack. And John Cusack was like, did you guys see the Babadook? And he had just seen it like 2 nights before.
Right.
He said, it's the most amazing horror movie I've seen, because horror movies are so terrible now. And that was the most amazing horror. John Cusack loved the Babadook. Just putting it out there. All right, continue.
Right. So again, that's really all that I could find on it.
Yeah.
Were you able to find anything on it at all?
Don't call me L.
L.
Well, this film had more than one ending. The original ending was that Elizabeth died in a car accident when a truck hit her, and she's thrown from the car. I think I would have felt better, because it had been like, and then she died of natural causes instead of getting a bullet in the head. But it was later changed to her being died on the webcam, tortured, and a new young lady sits back and watches slowly as the game is about to repeat. Which
she actually was the next target.
And that's that Australian
the
chick?
English or Australian chick, that had the boyfriend dancing behind her when. Yeah. I think she was actually becoming the next target because she had logged on and she saw that girl, and it seems like whoever saw the girl die, that person die, was the next target that they were going to start hacking and terrorizing.
And I just figured that there was probably thousands of targets just to keep the site going, depending on what you wanted to watch. Hangings, slicings, whatever crap you're into. That still bugs me.
I think you're right. I think it's a nationwide, even maybe worldwide network of killers.
It's terrible.
Well, yeah, but man.
The thing that's, and this, I go to it now. Now I'll go to what I was talking about in the beginning of the pod. How far away do you, and if it's a pessimistic point of view or whatever you want, a sadistic view, I wonder if that's, first of all, happening now, or number two, and I'm not about to go search to find out, and number two, how far away do you think, like in the year 2222, do you think by then that's going to be, on the Disney Channel? You know what I mean?
Hi, kids. Welcome to Murder by Numbers.
Hi, kids. I'm Mickey. Minnie deserves that.
Do I think something... I mean, we kind of see it already with like the Craigslist killers and stuff like that. Yeah, that doesn't involve a webcam or anything, but there's sites out there like The Den, I can, years and years ago, I can't remember the name of a site, but there was a site like that where you just clicked a button and said next person to chat with, and webcam popped up, and it was just a random stranger.
HearMeSeeMe.com.
Maybe that's what it was.
And it doesn't have that anymore, and they got rid of it because people were getting hurt by people down the street.
Right. And so could something, I think that's what kind of didn't draw me to the movie, but made me after the movie go, wow, man, that could really be happening now. That's some freaky stuff, You could relate because you've lived that before in the past, right, kind of thing. And plus of where I currently work, and what we deal with and the content that we deal with, we know how bad the internet can truly be out there. Yeah. So could something like this be going on? Absolutely.
It's sad.
It's very sad.
I'm sure that's what, and all of this started back with a caveman who threw a rock at another caveman.
Yeah, I know.
Just one day, he just, I don't like you.
Correct.
He talks like that.
Yeah.
That's how cavemen talked back then. I learned, I researched it, and he goes, come here. And he picks it up. They all had that accent, and they throw a rock, hit him in the head.
And that's it?
That's it. And then, you know what his parents were saying back then? I bet in the year 2015,
they're going to make a movie about you.
Two guys are sitting there doing this thing called podcasting. I don't know what kind of accent that was.
Yeah. It goes back to what we talked about what scares us, back to our first episode. This is something because can be so close to home that it doesn't necessarily have to be the movie that scares you. It's reality scares you,
Yeah.
And
that's what this did.
And that's, again, one of the unique I didn't get scared by it, but did it make me think? Absolutely. That's what made this movie very unique to me, is that they were able to take that movie and include a Saw/Hostel/ Purge sort of type movie. But at the end, it leaves you going, man, that could have been me. That could have been my sister. That could have been my cousin.
Hey, Mike, ever freak out when you notice that your camera is still on? Like your webcam's on. You walk in the room and you're like, oh.
Yeah, no, I'm lucky that when my computer goes to sleep, it automatically shuts the webcam off. So.
But how can you be sure?
Well, the little green light's not on.
Do you have a Logitech as well?
I do, yeah. So I can tell. Too. And the other good thing is that I have a separate room completely that it's just my computer and the webcam and all my podcast stuff is set up in my den. And the only time we're ever in here is when I'm using the computer, which is hardly next to none.
Except for the nights that I've got you on this site.
That's true.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mine is always facing, I always have to turn it around.
Right.
It's just a thing because, I might be picking my nose.
Right.
Or, stand up and scratching areas I don't want people watching. And no, I always end up doing that. Like as soon as you and I finish recording the show, I'll take the webcam, I'll turn it around, and it's always facing the wall in the back there.
Yeah, and we have that great luxury of being able to do that. But a lot of the new devices, laptops and such, it's built right in.
Yeah.
And there's no light saying that it's on either. So,
yeah, I know it. You never know. At work, we used to take pieces of tape and cover up the laptop because they were all work laptops.
Right.
And my boss used to always tease everybody that he says, I can watch you when you're not working, so I want you to keep working. Now, I know I couldn't, but just at the thought of it made me put tape. I used to take Post-it pieces and put them all over the monitors, or the camera, so all he'd see is this yellow piece of paper sitting in front of the canvas. It was enough to make me want to do that.
Yeah, I had a webcam 10 years ago, and until we decide to do this podcast, this is the first time I've had a webcam in 10 years. So I don't Skype. It's not that I don't. I just rather talk to people on the phone. It's easier for you and I to talk like this, plus what other means that we talk through, here comes the plug through Voxer.
I love Voxer.
I'm, like I said, I do most of everything on my smartphone.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and that has a camera on it.
It does, but I don't have that feature. That feature set up for me to turn manually on and off. It cannot be turned on or off by somebody.
Except for the government.
Maybe.
Well, which leads me to my next question. Should the government be more involved with the internet to the point, even though they've already voted they weren't going to bother, with internet sites such as the possibility of the ones that we're talking about right now, or other companies, should they monitor websites to make sure things like this doesn't happen? And if they did, would it matter?
No, I don't think the government needs to be involved, but I know the internet service providers, they are watching. They have to. And because, again, what I do for a living currently, we know this because we receive the reports.
Right.
And it's where there's video chatting or regular, keyboard typing, if there's bad stuff out there, the internet service providers will shut those websites down immediately. But when it's like anything else, you shut one down, 10 more pop up.
Yeah.
So it's an ongoing battle.
Right. That's what I wondered if, so basically that would be the other companies, like what you do.
Yes. Well, we don't shut them down.
No, but you keep track of
Right.
if they do or if they don't.
Yahoo sends us a report, says, hey, we've got this, and this going. Let's say it's Yahoo, and they're the internet service provider for ichopyourheadoff.com, let's just say. And, of course, law enforcement gets involved as well because we send the report to law enforcement. Law enforcement then correlates with the internet service provider, and the next thing you know, the internet service provider goes, we've received numerous reports. You don't fit into our business standard, so therefore we're shutting you down. You can no longer be on our server anymore. That doesn't mean that they can't go find another server in another country or even in the United States. But the fact of the matter is that I'm said Yahoo takes that steps to try to keep its internet content as healthy could be for us. I mean, you're still going to find porn sites or whatever, but.
What's an ex-hamster? No, I'm kidding. Okay, so. Will or should there be another sequel is the question I always ask here, and I'm thinking, who's left?
Well.
What do you think?
I with this type of movie, you don't need characters because it can be anybody. So. I could see a sequel happening, it's
like a Saw franchise.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, they're still, the same bad guy, which that's how it would, you're right, would be with the Den. It would just be a whole new set of victims and maybe a whole new set of circumstances, but really what set of circumstances could differentiate it from the first?
Right, exactly.
So maybe they shouldn't touch it. They might do it to drag a few extra dollars out of somebody, but all
depends on how much they made the first time.
Yeah.
If they overdid it the first time, they'll be back.
Yeah.
To do it again.
But VHS, that's a horror movie that, it's the same premise through all.
It's a bunch of little stories on a VHS tape.
Yeah. And they've got, I think, 4 now. And it really doesn't change, but, it's still a pretty popular series. So who knows? It just depends.
It's time to go. Time for final comments. All
right, well, let's discuss what we're going to watch next. This is my turn, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, there was 2 choices I was going to go for, and I think I'm going to go with my initial choice, just because we went so far into the gore aspect of this movie that I'm ready for one more, and I hope you are too. If you've already seen this, there'll be a slight letdown because I'm hoping you haven't, just to get your reaction initially when you get to see it for the first time. Cabin in the Woods.
Good movie.
You saw it?
There's not many that I haven't seen, but yeah, let's do that, man. That's cool.
Yeah, Cabin in the Woods will have to be our next
That's
movie.
An awesome one.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, and that should be fun.
Yes.
I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, tonight, Mike, I'm going to end the show with Code Monkey by Jonathan Coulton.
Cool.
I figured Code Monkey would be appropriate with all the computer goodies we've got, and it fits the movie. So, do you know who Jonathan Coulton is?
No.
Jonathan Coulton, back in 2005, he left his day job writing software, which is why this song exists, Code Monkey. But to keep himself busy, he released a song every single week in a podcast form in a project called Thing a Week. And a few of those songs became big, huge internet hits, including this Code Monkey song. And now he's fortunate enough to make his living as a musician.
That's awesome. It'll be
so he's doing really well.
Yeah.
So we'll end the show tonight with that. Please check out Jonathan Coulton at www.jonathancoulton.com. That's JONATHANCOULTON.com. Mike, thank you again. Thank you for going shopping. You sound amazing.
Oh, thanks, man. Again, another great show. Glad to be here. Looking forward to keep doing this. And everybody keep listening. And if you have any questions, hit us up, man, and we'll be happy to answer them. And
definitely. And in the future, we're going to be doing some movies of which you, the listener, can win that movie we discuss. Absolutely. And we'll be getting to that eventually. We do have a budget now. Thank you all for your donations. So until next time, Mike, take care.
You too, Kevin. Thank you very much.
I'll see you when we go visit the cabin in the woods.
Absolutely. Keep watching, bub.
Code Monkey, get up, get coffee. Code Monkey, go to job. Code Monkey, have boring meeting with boring manager Rob. Rob say Code Monkey very diligent, but his output stink. His code not functional or elegant. What do Code Monkey think? Code Monkey think maybe manager wanna write goddamn login page himself. Code Monkey not say it out loud. Code Monkey not crazy, just proud. Code Monkey like Fritos. Code Monkey like Tab and Mountain Dew. Code Monkey very simple man with big warm fuzzy secret heart. Code Monkey like you. Code Monkey like you. Code Monkey hang around at front desk till your sweater look nice. Code Monkey offer buy you soda, bring you cup, bring you ice. You say no thank you for the soda, cause soda make you fat. Anyway, you busy with the telephone, no time for chat. Code Monkey have long walk back to cubicle. He sit down, pretend to work. Code Monkey not thinking so straight. Code Monkey not feeling so great. Code Monkey like Fritos. Code Monkey like Tab and Mountain Dew. Code Monkey very simple man with big warm fuzzy secret heart. Code Monkey like you. Code Monkey like you. A lot. Code Monkey have every reason to get out this place. Code Monkey just keep on working. See your soft pretty face. Much rather wake up, eat a coffee cake, take bath, take nap. This job fulfilling in creative way, such a load of crap. Code Monkey thinks someday he have everything, even pretty girl like you. Code Monkey just waiting for now. Code Monkey says someday, somehow. Code Monkey like Fritos. Code Monkey like Tab and Mountain Dew. Code Monkey very simple man, big warm fuzzy secret heart. Code Monkey like you. Code Monkey like you.
All of Zerbinator's music and podcasts are under the Creative Commons license, which allows retelling and rebroadcasting as long as the author is notified and credited. For more great escape pods, please visit www.zerbinator.wordpress.com. If you would like to contact Zerbinatorland, you can send an email to instrumentally@gmail.com or give us a call at 571-408-ZERB or 9372.
The goodies that I could really find out there was...
Stuttering John is only going to be appearing on these last three shows.
All right, here we go.
It's the Stone Drunk Podcast. We've been that drunk before.
Yes,
too.
we have. Yes, we have, unfortunately. All right, Kev, the goodies that I could...